Stop 9/11.
It doesn't matter whether a crime is popular.
Oh, listen, no, I'm telling you, it does matter whether you're going to tear the country apart.
You're using the lingo of this administration. You don't usually fall for other people's lingo. Do you believe these are enhanced interrogations techniques or they're torture?
I think waterboarding is arguably torture.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I think, quite frankly...
Well, why are you using their lingo?
But look, because I think it arguably is. I'm not certain it is, because I would have done the same thing Bush did.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Pat, but I got to tell you, I have more faith in this country than you do. I don't think it's going to rip this country apart to enforce the law. This country's made of stronger stuff. And you know what? Even if everyone's against this, and it will be unpopular for Obama, he's going to take a hit. That's why he doesn't want to do it.
You're a philosopher as well as a lawyer, and both of you are philosophical people.
Why did Bush...
Let me ask you a question, because I think you can win this argument. We do things that are awful out of necessity at times. Now, let me give you an example. When we were facing 9/11 in real time, and there was another plane up there, we thought, which was being used armed, basically, as a weapon, and was headed towards somewhere here, the U.S. Capitol, the CIA, the White House. There was a national recognition that the vice president in this instance would have had to call that plane to be shot down if we had a fighter jet available. That is an evil justified by an end, which is to protect our national institutions. Killing perhaps 200 innocent Americans were on that plane. So we do conceptualize the idea of doing bad things in extremis. Was that wrong?
No, that's not it.
That wouldn't be nothing.
No, it's not. It's not illegal. It's not illegal to take that plane down.
But is it illegal to try to get out of a person who has some information, you know he has it, and you do anything you can to get it out of him? Is that an evil?
Of course it is. If you're torturing them, it's against every. Yes, it's not only a violation of morality, it's a violation of our laws.
It is a violation.
KSM.
That's right. We signed treaties saying that we would not torture people. That is a commitment that goes with our basic requirements.
But you would blow up a plane with innocent people in it to achieve a good end, but you wouldn't torture a guy to achieve a good end.
It is a violation of positive law. It is not a moral evil. You got a right to kill people. You got a right to kill people. You mean waterboarding Sheikh Khalid Mohammed is a worse thing than dropping 2 atomic bombs on people and burning 120,000 people to death, sending 40,000 more to death by radiation to convince the Japanese cabinet to change its mind? What was worse? I mean, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
Paul, you got the floor right now. What's worse? The atom bombs dropped on Japan or waterboarding Sheikh Mohammed?
No, the atom bombs were dropped. No, the atom bombs were dropped in a wartime at the time.
We are in war now.
Wait, Pat, let me finish, for the love of God. Now, what we have under these treaties is an obligation that we helped write that said that we don't torture for any reason, not even if it produces intelligence.
Why do you have this absolute attitude here?
Because torture is morally wrong, but it's also unlawful. If we didn't believe it, we shouldn't have signed those treaties. We put people to death for torturing people. We prosecuted people for waterboarding. The only novelty in this case is that it's Americans accused of being war criminals. We have to decide if we're a nation of hypocrites or whether we're a nation that follows the rule of law.
For most of our history, police have been beating up suspects.
Yes, but could you imagine a police? Could you imagine a police chief coming out like they've done this week and say, "Yeah, we beat that suspect, but we got good information."
Well, they did. That's how they used to do it.
We would never tolerate that. And we don't tolerate that argument.
Jonathan,
that's a new standard.
You are right. You may be right on what the law says, but there is a higher moral law. That's what Dr. King was all about.
Question. Pat Buchanan and Jonathan Turley.